What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a couple days, try to stay consistent, but we're back in the garage with Damien's long block, and I'm gonna get this thing torn down today to figure out exactly what went wrong and why this thing may have locked up on him and left him stranded on the side of the road. I also want to give a huge thank you to everyone who supported the Panzerbuilt drop. There are still a few tees left on the site, so if you're looking for some turning asphalt into adrenaline tees or some Panzer stickers, Panzer jet tags, be sure to head over to panzerbuilt.com and get yourself some goodies. But I'm gonna get you guys on the tripod. We're just gonna go ahead and get this thing torn down. It is still a complete long block minus the valve covers, so we'll hopefully don't have to drain too many fluids. We'll just pull this thing apart, try to get Damien an answer on what exactly happened. He said it locked up, but I don't know. That could be a lot of things. Could have hydrolocked, could be a bent rod. I don't know. It seems to spin freely now. Seems a little bit tight, but I guess we'll find out. Alright, just got the driver's side head off, and first thing I notice, there is a lot of carbon buildup in the cylinders. So I noticed as well when I was taking the little stupid EGR things off the back, there was a lot of carbon coming out of these things as well. You can see it all over the table. That's crazy. So I don't know if that would cause the engine to lock up. Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't seen that much carbon buildup in a while. On a diesel maybe, but not on these EJs. So let's get the other side ripped off, see if it looks the same. But yeah, I mean, that is a lot. Also looking at the back of the head, you can see it definitely looks pretty charred up back there. But other than that, like, I don't see any bearing material, anything too funky yet. So let's keep digging. So once again, nothing too crazy over on this side, other than, like, guys, look at that. A ton of carbon buildup. So, like, I don't know if that could lock up an engine. I'm sure it could do some damage, but I don't know. Let's spin this thing around and see how well it spins. Honestly, guys, what I'm seeing right now, the short block seems fine. So let's just rip the pan off, split the cases, see if we got any rod knock or anything like that. But right now, all I see is a ton of carbon buildup. Other than that, the thing appears to spin fine. Obviously, there's no oil in it, so it spins a little rough. But I don't know. Well, this engine certainly shredded something. There is all sorts of crap down there. A lot of, let's see if this will focus. a lot of shavings and a lot of big shavings. Let me pull one of these out for you guys. I have no idea. Yep. That's some carnage. So now I'm excited to tear the rest of this apart because I want to see what the heck all that crap is. I think it destroyed a bearing, honestly. Or, I have no idea. Let's find out. Holy. Looks like we had some sort of catastrophic failure over here on cylinder 4. By the looks of it. Because, I can go ahead. Oh, it's wedged in there. But we got material hanging out of that rod, so. Not ideal. Another EJ down. I'm not sure if we're going to bring this one back to life or not, boys. Alright, having a look in here, this rod is completely seized up. Well, besides that, ½ inch of movement there. This rod feels alright, a little bit stiff, but let's get the crank pulled out of here. And I'm excited to see how bad this bearing is. I can already see shreds of it coming off the side, so yeah, it definitely got really, really hot in here and burnt the pistons. You can see how hot just everything got. Rods are like toasted black. Alright, so upon further inspection, cylinder 1 looks like it got so hot in there that it welded the two bearings together, and I can't even get them off the rod, like it's melted to the side of the rod down there. Cylinder 2 has slight rod knock, so I'm sure that's also smoked. You can just see how hot it got in here. Every single rod is just black. Cylinder 3, I'm not sure because I pulled that one off already, and cylinder 4 is completely locked up. So let's try to get these off, see what's going on there. But yeah, this is crazy. I've never seen bearings just weld themselves together and stretch themselves out so much, and I can't even get them off the rod. So something happened. This had some crazy oiling issue, and yeah, got way too hot. Killed it. Well, there you have it. You got one bearing, and it's supposed to be two. That's your problem. Look at that. That's the craziest bearing failure I've ever seen. Oh my gosh. Literally just shredded it apart, welded them together. That's insane. The fact that it did it on not one, but two rods, and yeah, the rest of them are obviously extremely hot as well, so they're probably all same deal. You ready for this shit? Yeah. Your engine got so hot that it welded the bearings together.
Oh, that looks terrible. Oh my God.
It looks like the rod's wearing a skirt. Well, here is my final guess on what happened. As you can see, we got burnt rods all the way around. Got a very, very black burnt crank inside of the engine, toasted. So my guess, this thing had no oil in it, and he sent it. This thing definitely either had an oil feeding issue, or it was so low on oil that the pickup wasn't picking up any oil. And yeah, that'll happen. It'll get super, super hot. I mean, to the point where it literally welded the bearings together. And at that point, there ain't nothing it can do. It's just gonna melt everything inside the block, and you're gonna have an issue. The main takeaway from this is make sure you guys are checking your oil. I check the oil in Panzer every time I go out in it, because the last engine that was in there, I did run it low on oil and it got a rod knock while I was at a gas station. So these engines are extremely, extremely sensitive when it comes to oil. So make sure you're checking it either every time you fill up on fuel, every time you go out. I recommend, you know, as many times as possible to ensure, you know, you never know if you got a little leak going on or it's not feeding right. I mean, if it's not feeding, that's another issue in itself. Put a killer bee pickup on there, you'll solve that issue. But other than that, yeah, that's the main takeaway. This is probably one of the worst rod bearing failures I've ever seen. So yeah, carnage. As soon as I saw the metal chunks in the pan, they're like the shavings, I knew it was gonna be a fun teardown. Yeah, cool to see. It got hot. To weld the bearings together, those are supposed to be two separate little bearings. Right, yeah, this is supposed to be two separate pieces for those who don't really work on engines every day. Yeah, so not ideal, but that's gonna wrap up this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you're checking your oil. I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, peace out. See y'all later.